from head coach Will Wade, and then go to questions. Use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you're called on, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach, please give us a brief opening statement, and then we'll go right to questions.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game, high-level game. The game got away from us, I think, at the end of the first half. We had a pretty good working margin. We got off to a great start and had a great working margin, and then to be down one at half. We went on a scoring drought there for 4 or 5 minutes, and we got the lead in the second half by 6, and they made some huge threes. We just had some poor closeouts, some poor switches below the ball, and we weren't able to overcome them. But our guys played hard. Our guys gave it all they had. I'm proud of them for everything they've accomplished this year and fighting through the season.
Now we will go to questions from the media. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you'd like to ask a question. Our first question is from Kevin McCaskill Jr., FP Sports.
Yes, Kevin McCaskill Jr., FP Sports, Springfield, Massachusetts. Why didn't Josh Gray play tonight?
Well, we just felt like we needed to keep the floor spaced, and having Days in there, and Days didn't get in a ton of foul trouble till the end. And Dickinson didn't hurt us as bad as we were expecting down there. Our doubles were pretty good, so just was in the flow of the game. It wasn't one of those games where we felt like we needed him right now.
Can I ask one follow-up? He's like a real big energy guy, though. He can give you a lot on the offensive rebounding. Just note you didn't have any thought to play him tonight?
No, we thought maybe going into the game we were going to play him, but just with the flow of the game, it didn't work out that way.
Our next question is from Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV.
Will, you mentioned it, just the game getting away from you. Do you think it was a little bit of, running out of gas? Y'all played so well in the first half, and the inability to sustain it, and then their ability to, I guess, affect shots at the rim also seemed to, let y'all settle for some perimeter shots.
Yeah, I think we played two guys 40 minutes. I thought their run coincided with us having those guys out there a long time at the end of the first half. And then, in the second half, we kind of ran out of gas the last 10 minutes. So I do think probably that had something to do with it.
Our next question is from Glenn West.
Hey, Will, Glenn West with LSU Country here. Just, talk about Javonte's game. I mean, he really seemed to carry you guys in that second half. And even when you got down a little bit, he just really seemed to be a force for you guys throughout the entire night. Just talk about, his performance and, just how he was able to keep you guys in the game there.
Yeah, I mean, he stepped up and played great. I mean, he was tremendous, especially in the second half. He made plays. I think he had 6-7 assists, 1 turnover. He did a great job controlling the game, controlling our team, and he was phenomenal. So, very, 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 very proud of him, and he just capped off a great season.
Next question is from Sheldon Nichols.
Hey, Will, you mentioned the game got away at the end of the first half, but in the second half you kind of regrouped. You had a 6-point lead. What about 15 and a half minutes ago? What happened in those next 10 minutes that kind of got away from you there?
Well, we just couldn't we couldn't string together enough stops we could just never string together enough stops to make a run and to make it to expand our lead. We could never get the lead above 10 in the first half. Second half, after we got the 6-point lead, we gave up a couple threes. We missed a floater in the lane. We could never sustain what we were doing.
Next question is from Scott Rabelais, the Baton Rouge Advocate.
Well, people said Michigan looked a little vulnerable, maybe because they were missing Livers, one of their best players, but they outscored you 26-2 off the bench. Is that something that's kind of indicative of this game? Was that something you were worried about, that they just come at you with a lot of players?
Yeah, I mean, Shondy Brown's a great player. We knew that. And, they're a great team. They're a tremendous, tremendous team. Coach Howard and their staff, their offensive execution, the way they move, the way they guard, they're a very, very good team. They're going to be an extremely tough out for anybody.
Our next question is from Billy Embody, 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Will, what will you remember most about this season? You know, Ed Orgeron talked about what he took away from it, just, you know, going through all the protocols and everything. What are you going to look back and take away from it?
Just how hard our guys fought. I mean, we went through so much, so many things on and off the court. Just how hard they fought to get in. I mean, we got in 29 games. Just to get into 29 games, man, every day was a battle, and these kids battled, and wanted to play, and wanted to be great. And you know, we started peaking at the right time. We just happens. You get a tough draw and a great team like this. It's a high-level game, and it can go either way. And they just made a few more shots and a few more plays than we did. But our guys really battled all season, and I told them I told them how much I appreciate that, you know, in the locker room after the game.
Our next question is from Ron Higgins.
Yeah, well, did Michigan show on film they could shoot the three that well? In the second half, it seemed like when they hit those 2 threes in a row, and every time you came up with a basket, they answered with a three. Did they show on film they could shoot the three ball that well?
Well, yeah, they lead the Big Ten in three-point shooting. But, I mean, you can't take away everything, and we've kind of lived and died by giving up some threes all year. And, you know, we had to give something up to take away the points in the paint, to take away everything in the post, and that's what we did. But the threes they hit on the runs were really weren't inside-out threes. They were off the bounce threes, poor switch outs, things of that nature. So that was stuff that we can control that we didn't do a good enough job on.
Our next question is from Sheldon Nichols.
Hey, Will, it looks like y'all did a pretty good job on Dickinson in the first half. Looked like you frustrated him a little bit. Did you feel good about that matchup at halftime, that y'all had, you know, switched players a lot, defenders?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job trapping him, confusing him down there, making him work. We had active hands, and then when we got tired, they just got way too comfortable. I think they had 13 assists on 16 made baskets. The problem in the first half was our closeouts, them driving our closeouts, and we just did a poor job with that.
Next question is from Paul Boron.
Hi, Coach. Paul Boron from Cox Sports Television. I know a couple times this season you talked about, you know, this is a team I expected to see, and then you would have some lulls. Do you feel like tonight you went out kind of giving your best shot and the best of what your team could be?
Yeah, I think we went out, you know, we played well. We ran into a great team. It wasn't like, I mean, we could have done some things differently. We could have, you know, we made a few more shots, finished a few more in the lane, we had a few better switches defensively. We certainly could have won the game, but I can't fault our guys' effort and how hard they played, and we were prepared and ready to go. We couldn't sustain it for 40 minutes.
Our final question is from Michael Cobble.
Well, this is likely going to be the final game, obviously, that this group plays together, but for some of your star players, I guess just could you talk about the future of LSU basketball as you see it, and maybe some of the plans of how you start the process of moving forward?
I mean, we've certainly going to lose, you know, some very, very good players. We've got some talented young kids in the program that we feel really good about. We're going to try to mix in some veteran guys here in the spring, have 2 or 3 scholarships to mess around with, and get some talented veteran guys to join our young core that's really good. So we've got to keep the young core together, keep those guys together, get those guys in the gym and get back to work, and add a couple veteran pieces, and I think we can be right back where we are tonight.
Thanks, Will.
All right.
Thank you, Coach, for your time today. We'll be joined momentarily by Javonte Smart.
Thank you all.
We are now joined by Javonte Smart. We'll begin the press conference. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. And when you're called on, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question is from Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV.
Hey, Javonte, Michael Cobble here in Baton Rouge. Results notwithstanding, how exciting was that game, especially in the first half, to be a part of? And do you feel like the energy you expended in that first half, y'all just couldn't sustain it in the second half to pull out the victory?
Coming into the game, we knew it was a big game. Playing against Michigan on one of the biggest stages, you want to play in. I just want to give it all to Michigan. They came to fight. We came to fight. But our energy wore off. I thought we should have, just kept our energy, kept going. But, during the game, energy wore off, and, they just outplayed us at the end.
Our next question is from Glenn West.
Hey, Javonte, it's Glenn West here with LSU Country. What point, I guess in the second half did the offense really just kind of seemed to stagnate? It seemed like there was a lot of ISO ball going on, and you guys have had success with that this season. But, I guess just kind of at what point did you guys feel like maybe that it was starting to get away from you a little bit, and how did you try to rectify it at least throughout the end of that game?
Yeah, during the middle of the second half, we felt like, we was doing a lot of one-on-one ball. But, all year, that's what we've been doing all year. So we just try to, pass the ball to each other, play as a team, continue to play as a team, hit some shots. But, they hit some big shots. They hit a couple big shots. And, we was just trying to get some stops, really, just really on the defensive end, trying to get stops because we knew we was going to score the ball. We just needed to get stops.
Next question is from Sheldon Nichols.
Hey, Javonte, Sheldon Mickelson, the Advocate. It seemed like in the middle of the second half, I think they hit 9 out of 10 shots, and y'all started missing. Did you feel like y'all started pressing when they started hitting a few, or did y'all just kind of hit a rut there?
Yeah, we wanted to press them early. In the Big Ten, they wasn't pressing that much, so Coach told us we was going to start out pressing. They hit some big shots, like I said, and, we wanted to speed the game up, and they were still hitting some big shots, and we came down and missed a few shots. But, that happens in the game. We just wanted to keep fighting hard, and, the outcome, we took an L, but take that to the chin.
Our next question is from Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV.
Javonte, you came back for a reason this season, and clearly, you showed tonight you're capable of, leading the team, I guess. Just if you could big picture it for me for a moment and talk about what this season has meant to you and playing through all the difficulties, just to get to this point. And do you feel like you made the right decision in hindsight now?
Yeah, I feel like coming back, talking to my mom and, coaches, I feel like coming back would be the best thing for me. Just learning more. I feel like this year it helped me learn a lot more, about myself and about, just growing up as a man. I think this year was, one of the biggest years, you can ask for. Playing during COVID, it's hard. I had to sit out a few games. It's just a lot that was going on, and I think that it helped me, for further on. And I think it was a real good year, and I'm proud of our guys, our younger guys, and even Trenton and Days. Like I said, it was a big year for us, and I was looking forward to winning it all, but we fell short to Michigan. And like I said, I want to give it all to them, but I feel like I learned a lot this year.
Next question is from Billy Embody, 247 Sports.
Hey, Javonte, Billy Embody with 24/7 Sports. When you look back on what you and Trendon and Darius and, I guess to an extent Cam have accomplished together, I mean, how close are you guys and what's your relation? How have you guys grown together since you guys have been, on campus here?
Yeah, me and Days came in together, but me and Trendon, we always together. That's my guy. We were roommates. We was always working out together, but Cam came along. Cam was kind of quiet, but, he came along. He came, he's not as friendly as other guys, but Cam came along and was interacting with other guys because we all four of us are roommates, so you really have no choice but to interact with each other.
Next question is Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV.
Hey man, how difficult was it going in the second half to get your shot inside? It seemed like their height started to affect y'all's shot selection at some point.
Say that again.
It seemed like they were able to redirect your offense, and you guys had to look for outside shots. Was their height a significant factor because of that in the second half, or was that just kind of the looks you were getting?
Yeah, I think that was just the shots we was getting. I think with all the guys, we have a lot of shot makers. I think the open shots was there, and we take them because we make them most of the time. But they just wasn't falling. So I think we started attacking a little bit and starting to open everything up for the 3-point line and inside.
Our next question is from Kevin McCaskill Jr., FP Sports.
Kevin McCaskill Jr., FP Sports, Springfield, Massachusetts. When the first cancellations happened during the season, did you question if the season would continue?
Yeah, I did, because I didn't know how the season would go with. I didn't know how the season would go with all the COVID things, and because I had COVID during the season, and I had to sit out, and I didn't know how it was going to continue. But I want to give it all to the NCAA for being able to have this.
Thank you, man.
No problem.
Thank you, Javonte, for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
That's it for this post-game news conference. A transcript of the coach's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports at ncaa.com/transcripts. You can also find a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you all for joining us.